Today, dozens of parents with disabled children took to Annapolis, demanding state leaders pause a new policy set to take effect this week. They say the changes will reduce the funding and services their children so desperately need. Fox 45's Rebecca Pryor shares their stories.
Yeah, families I spoke with say they need help, not hurdles. Not only will these changes make it harder for them to receive the services that they need, they say they weren't given any time to prepare.
Leave no one behind.
Standing outside the statehouse, a sea of frustrated families.
We need your help.
Pleading with state leaders.
We voted you in, we can vote you out.
Not to make living with a disability.
We know you hear us, but do you see us?
Harder than it already is.
Governor Moore, you promised not to leave anybody behind. We are being left behind. Please, please help us.
They're protesting to protect access to self-direction, which, rather than living in a facility, allows individuals with special needs to select their own staff, services, and schedules at home. But just last month, the Developmental Disabilities Administration, or DDA, releasing this 120-page policy change, wrapping the money they receive in a slew of new requirements and regulations, as well as reducing who qualifies for certain services. For Jessica Gallatin,
3 years ago, our parents died.
Who takes care of her sister Jennifer, who suffered a car accident at the age of 12, causing a traumatic brain injury.
So now she's got quadriplegia and a G-tube feeding tube, and she's nonverbal.
Self-direction is the only option in their part of Cecil County.
We searched all of our local day hab programs, and none of them would accept her as a client.
Jennifer's needs are too complex. However, the DDA recently ruling she no longer qualifies for enhanced services, cutting the funds they need to secure staff.
Not only are we in a super rural area, but there's a tremendous amount of work that gets done for her, and she has to become competitive.
It's a similar story for Lisa Dornell and her son, John.
What the state of Maryland and the Disabilities Administration is doing to our families, to our loved ones, is unconscionable.
They also fear less pay will cause them to lose their longtime caregiver.
The people need a living wage, and caring for this population is very, very difficult.
And for Marla Hollanders.
So we requested in February and got approved for a communication device that he's been using for years.
But the DDA now wrapping the purchase in red tape, saying she needs to enter the request under a new classification, get 3 cost estimates, and have another assessment done.
And that's just one example of how these changes and constant need for processing paperwork is evolving in our life.
Each case coming with unique challenges. They're all making the same call to Governor Wes Moore and the DDA.
We're not giving up.
Put a pause on the changes, giving more time for the families affected to make their voices heard.
Leave no one behind.
And ensure the policies don't harm those they're intended to support. Today, the governor's office and the DDA both ignored our request for a comment. However, previously, the DDA has argued that these new changes are meant to ensure proper oversight over taxpayer-funded services. In Annapolis, Rebecca Pryor, Fox 45 News.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also, take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel.